She found the forum at 2 a.m. She had been searching for 6 months. A torn rotator cuff that would not heal, 3 cortisone shots, 2 rounds of physio, a surgeon who told her the options were rest or reconstruction, and that reconstruction would sideline her for a year. She was a 31-year-old personal trainer. A year was not an option. So she searched, and the internet, as it always does, had an answer. BPC 157. Body Protection Compound 157. A synthetic peptide derived from a protein found in human gastric juice. The forums called it a miracle. Accelerated tissue repair, reduced inflammation, 0 side effects, completely safe, research-backed, used by athletes all over the world. Her name was Mara Clendon, and she believed them. Remember that. The biohacking community has a language designed to sound like science. Peptides, subcutaneous injection, reconstitution protocol, bacteriostatic water. The vocabulary is clinical. The confidence is absolute. And on the forums Mara was reading, the people posting were not fringe figures. They were gym coaches, nurses, former military, people with before and after photos and detailed injection logs and pinned threads called Everything You Need to Know. The thread she found had 4,000 upvotes. It told her BPC 157 was well tolerated, that the research, while mostly in rats, was overwhelmingly positive, that the compound could be purchased as a research chemical, legally, online, for around $40 a vial, and that the only difference between research grade and pharmaceutical grade was paperwork. That last part was not true. That last part was the thing that would destroy her. Here is what research grade actually means. When a pharmaceutical compound is manufactured for human use, it goes through a process called Good Manufacturing Practice, GMP. Every batch is tested for sterility, for endotoxins, bacterial byproducts that trigger catastrophic immune responses, for accurate dosing, for contamination. Research-grade peptides are manufactured for laboratory use, for cell cultures, for rat studies. They are not tested for sterility to human standards. They are not required to be. The label says not FOR human USE because legally they are not for human use. The forums Mara was reading had a response to this. The not for human use label is just legal protection. The compound is the same. It is not the same. The compound might be identical. The contaminants are not. Mara ordered 2 vials, BPC 157 and TB 500, another peptide the forums recommended stacking for soft tissue repair. She ordered bacteriostatic water for reconstitution. She ordered insulin syringes. She watched 3 YouTube tutorials on subcutaneous injection technique. She did everything the forum told her to do. She injected into the subcutaneous fat of her abdomen as instructed. She rotated sites. She kept her vials refrigerated. She logged every injection in a notebook. For 10 days, she felt nothing unusual. Her shoulder felt marginally better. She told herself it was working. On day 11, she woke up with a headache. Not a bad headache, the kind you blame on poor sleep or dehydration. She took ibuprofen. She went to work. She trained 4 clients. Day 13. The headache was worse, behind her eyes now. She noticed she was more tired than usual. She put it down to the shoulder, the disrupted sleep, the stress of running her own business. Day 15. She vomited after her morning coffee. She told herself it was a stomach bug. She did not connect any of this to the vials in her refrigerator. Day 17. She could not get out of BED. The emergency room physician who saw Mara on day 17 documented the following: severe headache, vomiting, photophobia, fatigue, and confusion. He ordered a CT scan, standard protocol for a patient presenting with those symptoms. The CT showed an abnormality at the base of her brain. Not a tumor, not a bleed, a lesion, sitting directly on her pituitary gland. She was transferred to neurology within the hour. An MRI confirmed it. A small ABSEESS, a pocket of infection, had formed inside her skull, wrapped around the pituitary gland like a fist closing around a grape. The neurology team's first question was the one that mattered. Has she had any recent injections? Any procedures? Any foreign substances? Her partner, sitting in the chair beside the bed, said yes. He pulled up the form on his phone and handed it to the doctor. The doctor had never heard of BPC 157. He had to look it up. Here is what they believe happened inside Mara's body. The research-grade peptide she injected was not sterile. It carried bacterial contamination, most likely introduced during the reconstitution process or present in the vial itself. The bacteria entered her bloodstream through the injection site. In most cases, a bloodstream infection is caught by the immune system, cleared, gone. But certain bacteria have an affinity for specific tissues. And the pituitary gland, a structure the size of a pea, sitting in a bony hollow at the base of the skull called the sella turcica, is uniquely vulnerable. It has its own blood supply, limited immune surveillance. Once bacteria reach it, the body's defenses arrive late. By the time Mara's immune system mounted a full response, the abscess had already formed. The pituitary gland controls almost every hormonal system in the human body: growth hormone, thyroid stimulation, cortisol regulation, reproductive hormones. It is the master switch. Hers was being compressed and destroyed by an infection seeded by a $40 vial of unsterile peptide she injected into her own stomach. The neurosurgeons operated within 40 EIAT hours. Transsphenoidal surgery. Through the nose, through the sphenoid bone, into the sella turcica. They drained the abscess. They cultured the bacteria. They started her on IV antibiotics targeted to the specific organism they found. The surgery was successful in the narrow sense. The infection was cleared. The abscess was gone. What was not gone was the damage. The pituitary gland does not regenerate. The tissue destroyed by the abscess was gone permanently. Mara left the hospital with hypopituitarism, a condition in which the pituitary produces insufficient quantities of the hormones the body depends on. She now takes cortisol replacement every morning. Without it, her body cannot manage physical or emotional stress. A bad day at work, a cold, a traffic accident. Events that a normal body handles automatically can send her into adrenal crisis. She takes thyroid hormone. She takes growth hormone replacement. She sees an endocrinologist every 3 months for the rest of her life. Her shoulder healed on its own 6 months later with rest. The forum thread that led her here is still up. 4,000 upvotes. The pinned comment still says completely safe. Nobody has added a warning. Here is what I need you to understand. BPC 157 and TB 500 are not approved for human use anywhere in the world. There is no human clinical trial data on long-term safety. The forums that call them research-backed are citing rat studies, and the vials being sold online are manufactured to laboratory standards, not to the sterility standards required for anything that enters a human body. The word peptide sounds clean, scientific, safe. It is not a safety classification. It is a chemical description. Mara Clendon is 32 years old. She will take hormone replacement every day until she dies because she trusted a forum thread more than she trusted the label that said not for human use. That label is not a legal formality. It is a warning. If this story made you stop and think about something you or someone you know is taking, something bought online, something the forums call safe, share it. That conversation might be the one that matters. If you are new here, this is the waiting room. Every case is real. Every delay was preventable. Subscribe so you do not miss the next one. And in the comments, tell me what you think the forums got wrong. Because there are more threads like the one Mara read, and someone is reading them right now. Your name is A.L. Reedy on the chart.